Well, you don't see that every day. The Premier League just threw a massive curveball into the top four race, and it all went down at Stanford Bridge. So let's get right into it and break down what on earth just happened.
1-0. Yep, that's it. Such a simple scoreline, but wow, what a story it tells. A story of frustration, a huge surprise, and an upset that could honestly define a season. So, who felt the sting of this one?
And there you have it. Chelsea playing at home, beaten by Newcastle. And this wasn't just any game. This had huge implications for that Champions League race. And that's the big question we're diving into today. How in the world did a team with so much to play for fall so completely flat? First off, let's just set the scene and talk about what was really lost here. This wasn't just another game on the calendar. Nope. This was a golden opportunity, and man, did it slip right through their fingers. This slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? The gap between what could have been and, well, what actually happened. On one side, the prize, a shot to climb all the way up to third place. And on the other, the reality, a crushing defeat that puts their Champions League hopes in real jeopardy. You know, one reporter even suggested their heads were still at the Parc des Princes after a tough European loss. And honestly, watching them play, you can't really argue with that. All right, so let's zoom in on the moment that really turned this whole game on its head, the goal. We're going to walk through how one single play completely unraveled Chelsea's entire strategy. It was almost surgical, really, how Newcastle just picked them apart. It all starts with Chelsea pushing up, playing that risky high defensive line, and boom, they get caught. One perfect through ball, and Joe Willock is just gone. He's racing into all that empty space. He gets his head up, squares it across the goal, and there's Anthony Gordon at the back post for probably the easiest tap-in of his life. And that was it. One pass, one goal, game decided. Okay, so you're Chelsea. You're down 1-0 at home. Time to roar back, right? Well, about that. Let's talk about their failed response. They had chances. Oh, they had plenty of chances. But actually taking them, that was a completely different story. I mean, just look at this list. It paints a picture of pure frustration. The whole team just looked gassed, totally out of ideas. Liam Delap, he missed 2 decent looks. Trevor Chalobah sends a promising header wide. And then, just to cap it all off, João Pedro heads it onto the roof of the net, deep into injury time. It just shows you how wasteful they were all game long. And honestly, nothing sums up the feeling inside the stadium better than this quote from Sam Tabatu, who was right there for the Standard. He wrote that you could be here another 80 minutes and Chelsea would not look like scoring. Just let that sink in for a second. That's how toothless their attack was. It just felt inevitable. All right, let's pull back from the minute-by-minute action for a second. What does this result actually mean for both of these clubs? Because what we're looking at here are 2 teams whose fortunes just took a sharp turn in completely opposite directions. Okay, I want to show you a year, 2012. Seems kind of random, right? But believe me, this number is huge. It gives you some serious historical perspective on what Newcastle just pulled off. That was the last time Newcastle won a match at Stanford Bridge. We're talking about a winless streak of over a decade that was just absolutely shattered. So for Newcastle, this wasn't just about grabbing 3 points. This was historic. And this table really tells the tale of 2 totally different post-match moods. For Chelsea, their Champions League hopes just took a massive hit. Now they have to sit there and nervously watch what their rivals, United, Villa, Liverpool, are going to do. And they've got that brutal match against PSG coming up. Meanwhile, for Newcastle, it is pure joy. A huge morale boost, they broke that decade-long curse, and now they have a fantastic landmark win to build on. So that leaves us with the one big, final question hanging over Stanford Bridge. Where does Chelsea even go from here? Their confidence is clearly at rock bottom. A massive European night is just around the corner, and their rivals are absolutely smelling blood in the water. Can they possibly turn this around and salvage their season? I guess we're all going to be watching to find out.